Hey everyone, I'm Kenzie Moss, and today for Member Spotlight, we have Mr. Russ Dunlap. Thank you for being here, Russ.
Yeah, glad to be here.
So I'm excited to learn about Buchalter. You are an attorney for Buchalter, so can you tell me some details into what you do for them specifically?
Yes, I'm an intellectual property attorney at Buchalter. I actually just celebrated my 1 year anniversary of helping open the Atlanta office for the firm. I focus most of my practice on patents and helping usually manufacturers or people that want to get into manufacturing or partner with manufacturers to help them protect their innovations and obtain patent protection, usually on the products and the processes that they want to bring to market and to keep them to kind of protect their competitive advantage.
Perfect. Congrats on your 1 year.
Thank you.
Um, I was wondering, what made you get into manufacturing specifically in Georgia?
Sure. I originally started working with some manufacturers early on in my career, just helping them with their patent processes when I was a young associate. And the more I got into it, the more I talked with the clients, the more I'd go visit their facilities and tour them and sit down with the engineers and see all the cool new technology and the innovations they were working on. I did just kind of fell in love with it, and I really thoroughly enjoyed working with manufacturers and just kind of took it from there. Started really working with a lot of different manufacturers across all these different technology spaces. So it just became a passion of mine to really help manufacturers protect those things that they want to take to market and keep their competitors from copying them.
Yeah, awesome. I know that even if, based off of like stuff I've heard in networking, even if it's something you don't do specifically, you have been able to point people to someone from Buchalter to help
Yeah.
wherever someone needs. So, what are like kind of the main areas y'all can support manufacturers in?
It's really just about everything. We are a full service law firm. We have attorneys in all the different practice areas that a company might need, especially manufacturers. So not only intellectual property support that I do, but also corporate contracts, litigation, labor and employment issues, SEC issues, cybersecurity, and data privacy, all those sort of legal issues that a company might face in their day-to-day operations. We have attorneys that can assist. We have over 600 attorneys nationwide. We have 14 attorneys here in Atlanta, and we're rapidly growing over the next few months. So, yeah, we just want to build a practice that can support just about anything our clients need. And if I can't find somebody here in Atlanta that can help, we have enough attorneys nationwide that can find expertise in just about every single area.
Yes, I've seen that firsthand. You sharing a contact of someone and helping someone out. So it's a great asset to have you a part of GMA. What is a success story that you would be able to share with us that could kind of relate to someone that might be needing your services?
Yeah, I have a longtime client um, that I've been doing patent work for years and years now. And something that happened in the last year, they went to a trade show and a competitor actually was releasing a product that was almost a knockoff of what they'd been selling for a while. And fortunately, I helped them get a patent on that product. So they came to me and said, "Hey, this product looks a lot like ours. Can you help us with it?" So well, I don't normally uh, do work in the enforcement area. We have a team here that I work closely with and have been with my whole career. I brought them in. We took a look at the patents we had. We took a look at the product they were selling, this competitor was selling, and immediately got to work drafting a cease and desist letter. And then when that competitor refused to do anything, we filed a patent lawsuit against them, and to get them to stop selling it. And we were very successful in that. What ended up happening was we basically forced this manufacturer, this competitor, to create a much less effective version of their product. We reached a very good settlement with them because they knew they were in hot water, and they basically redesigned the product in a way that really made it a lot less valuable. So our competitor's product really stood out as the much better product. So really kind of forced them into a bad part of the market, away from what my client was doing.
Yeah,
And the client was very happy with that. Once that product was redesigned after the settlement and they released it, they looked at it as like, oh yeah, we're not worried about this one. Our product is so much better now.
that's awesome. I feel like what you do is very important because law is confusing for the average person. So I feel like if you are owning a company or owning a product like that, and that person sees something that's just like it, I would be like, oh my gosh, where do I even start? Where do we go?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a great asset to have y'all on board and to get the best results because that's a sticky situation. I mean, I every time I see like a knockoff of something, I think about it. I'm like, for example, things that are on Amazon that I
Mhm.
know that they didn't create, or TikTok Shop or Temu or
Mhm.
Shein or something like that. I've always wondered like what kind of goes into that. Is it kind of different for different products? Like, do some companies just allow knockoffs, or how does
Some
that work?
some companies are definitely not as enforcement enthusiastic, I guess is one way to put it. Um, and some of them just they didn't think up front about getting patent protection on their products in some ways. Because even with your examples, even if they're making it outside the US and importing it, if you have the right patent protection in place up front, you can stop the imports. You can have them confiscated at the border, to prevent them from bringing those products to market here to knock you off. And you can work with those sellers like Amazon, to get them to take their products down because Amazon doesn't want infringing products on their website. So if you have the right counsel, you take the right strategies, you get the right protection up front, you can really effectively go after those knockoffs and prevent them from cutting into your market share.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. What is a trend you're seeing? We like to talk about the trends in the manufacturing world. What are some trends that you're seeing that might be affecting what you do specifically, and how are you overcoming that?
Well, a lot of what my clients are dealing with now, and most manufacturers, I think, is just market volatility. There's a lot of uncertainty in where the market's going, where prices are going, and the thing that happens the most in times of volatility like this is innovation. When you have you know when you're worried about what's going to happen with the market, the economy, that's when a lot of people, especially innovative people, your engineering team, your R&D staff, whoever you got working on designs, they kind of sit down and say, okay, what can we do to protect our market share, to come up with a new product, new design, a new modification on what we're currently selling to uh, differentiate ourselves, to really protect our competitive advantage and make sure we are at the forefront of our space. So really, volatility kind of breeds innovation. And for example, in 2020, when everything kind of shut down there for a while and people were stuck at home, I actually had a very busy year because you sent all these engineers home and these just super innovative people. What are they going to do with their time? They're going to keep innovating. They're going
Yeah,
to keep coming
that's
up
great.
with new products. They're going to tinker in their garages. And it really bred a lot of new ideas. So when you have this innovation that you're working on and really investing in, it's always good to kind of bring me in to help out with that and make sure you're taking the right steps to protect those innovations that are really going to set you apart from your competitors.
Perfect. Um, are there some Georgia manufacturing members that you've helped specifically recently?
Yes, yes. I work with a bunch of different manufacturers in Georgia, kind of across the board. The client that I was just telling you about is a GMA member, hosted a tour recently, and they it's been a great it's been great working with the GMA to provide my services and partner with people and help them out and as well just be a resource too.
Yes, I agree. I think, like I said before, I think that, sorry, there's lawn care in the back, of course, um, right outside the door. I think law is scary, and I think having someone that's kind like you, um, I think maybe lawyers or attorneys get like a bad rap for being like
Occasionally, yeah.
strong-headed and not taking no for an answer, which is good, but at the same time, it can be scary. And you've definitely changed my opinion on that. You're a great person and a knowledgeable person, so that is a huge asset to have in
Yeah.
the GMA world. I never really. I, I'm definitely very new to the manufacturing world, so going into the plant tours, I've noticed. I mean, there's dangers. There's every single piece of the line, I'm sure has to have a patent itself. The people need to be safe. The company needs to
Mhm.
be safe. So I can't even imagine how many different little pieces that you work with within these manufacturers. Um, this is a fun question. What is a myth that you would debunk about attorneys in the manufacturing world?
Well, you kind of said it yourself a little bit. Yeah, we sometimes get a bad rap, um, and sometimes that's justified. Some attorneys can be very aggressive and just hard to work with. One of the reasons I joined Buchalter is just I love the culture here, and you really have a lot of attorneys here that just love helping, love bringing in our team members to assist on whatever matters come up that the client has. We just love problem solving. We love sitting down with our clients and just seeing what we can do to help wherever possible. Another myth I've gotten actually fairly recently, I had a conversation with a referral source. Um, and a new one and he didn't understand the patent process as well, but one of the things he said was, oh yeah, I had somebody tell me that it's like 50 to $100,000 to get a patent on an invention. So why would manufacturers or anybody invest in that to get a patent? And it's not true. It's not quite that expensive, especially when you do the things that you need to upfront to get a good patent application in place, and you do your research, you find the right path to getting an allowance. It really shouldn't cost that much to get your path to your first patent, an order of magnitude less potentially than that.
Yeah.
So, and there's ways to kind of like spread the costs out as well. So you're not facing huge chunks of fees up front.
Upfront.
So yeah, it was interesting to hear that because I hadn't heard that in a while. But it shouldn't cost that much usually to get a patent.
I feel like I would be that person that would think, oh my gosh, how much is this going to cost? And does it change depending on, I don't know how to word this, like how how successful the product is? Does the price go up or down per product, or is it just in general, there's this one fee that you,
Typically, I usually charge a fixed fee schedule, although it can vary. Sometimes we can negotiate just like ranges of fees or whatever. But um, the success of the product, you typically won't know when you're in the patent process yet. But which is why you kind of want to talk with somebody that can help you kind of spread the fees out, right? Because you don't know how successful it's going to be, if it's going to take off. Typically, is you want to get the patent application filed, before you even publicly disclose the invention, before you start selling it. Um,
That's a good point.
but sometimes if it's super complicated technology and we're talking like a very complicated, very long patent, maybe the fees will be a little bit higher. But in general, like I said, I typically charge like a fixed fee rate for services, for instance, and so so it kind of makes it easier to predict, to estimate what your costs are going to be down the line.
I think people, if they're really protective of their product and they know it's going to take off, then I think that fee is worth it for sure.
Mhm.
Because just like you were telling in that other, in your first story, if they wouldn't have done that, they would have had to just go to the show and let these people sell their product.
Absolutely.
Um,
That's the worst thing that can happen, really,
yeah.
is your product is super successful, everybody loves it, and then somebody comes along and knocks you off, and there's literally nothing you can do. And a bunch of people, soon the market is flooded with versions of your product that you just can't stop.
How long does it take to finish the patent product process?
It's typically around you file your patent application. And it is a multi-year process, often 2 to 3 years potentially, till you actually get the patent. In the meantime, you are patent pending. So you're marking your product patent pending. You're letting people know, yes, I'm pursuing a patent on this. So it's kind of a warning to people that, hey, I'm serious about protecting this. So even if you copy it now while it's patent pending and I can't sue you yet, I can come after you as soon as the patent issues. And
Okay,
in
that was going to be my
addition,
question.
yeah.
If it's patent pending, does that mean that people cannot copy your products?
So while it's patent pending, you can't stop anybody from copying it. You
Okay.
can make threats, you can send cease and desist letters, and when you eventually get the patent and pursue, a patent infringement lawsuit and win it, you could potentially ask for damages that go back to when your patent was actually just pending. So there are options on the table for enforcement that are outside of, yeah, I can't sue anybody yet while I'm patent pending. In
Okay.
addition, there are ways to accelerate your patent application. If you want it to issue faster, you can, pay a few extra fees with the USPTO, the United States Patent and Trademark Office, to move things along faster. They love their extra fees there, but it can get
That's what
you a
everyone.
patent within a year, for instance, or if it falls within certain categories. One option that I present to a lot of my inventors, if they're older, if you're over 65 years old, if you're one of the inventors is over 65 years old, you can request that the patent be accelerated based on the age of the inventor, and
Hmm.
that moves it along really, really fast. It helps get a patent issued very, very quickly. So there are options at the table to move it faster if you want, but often, you might want to just get the patent pending, file the patent application, and then you can take the next steps in your business process to say, okay, let's start getting this to market. Let's start selling it, see how well it goes. And then, you know, it gives you a little bit of runway to go through that actual business and marketing and selling process. Um, and then to decide, okay, maybe later, okay, this is taking off now. Let's explore our options on maybe how to get a patent quicker, or we're seeing, more competitors on the market copying it. We can revisit the issue and potentially find other ways to accelerate it if you're at that stage.
So I guess it kind of depends on if the inventor wants to wait to put it on the market until after they have a patent already in place, or if they want to start sell or marketing it beforehand. Um,
So
kind
that
of,
actually is a big issue and something that if you take away anything from this conversation, is that it is vitally important to pursue protection early in the process. Ideally, before you even take this to market, tell anybody about it, sell it, show it off, whatever, because deadlines in the patent world are incredibly important. So once you publicly disclose an invention, let's say you show it off at a trade show, or you launch a website and you sell one, or even before you sell anything, you've launched the website to show it off, or you post a YouTube video about it, or Even if you just tell a large group of your friends about it, start telling people that aren't under any sort of confidentiality agreement with you, that can start a timer in the US of 1 year. In the United States, once you publicly disclose an invention or sell it, you have 1 year to get your patent application on file. And
Oh,
it's
wow.
really better to even do it before that 1 year, before you even publicly disclose it. You want to file something potentially because if you have any interest in protecting outside the US, for example, in Europe or China, you have to file something somewhere, a patent application, before you publicly disclose it at all.
Mm,
So it is vitally important, really, to get a patent application on file before that public disclosure, or very quickly afterwards. Because I've had clients where I've had to tell them, "You've been selling this for 4 years. There's nothing I can do for you at this stage to help you get a patent.
oh, wow.
You can explore other options on, maybe some of the stuff you've created maybe could be protected as trade secrets. Maybe you've maybe innovated in the last year and maybe the original product is 4 years old, but let's say you've in the last 6 months or so, you've come up with a new variation of it, you've tweaked it, you made it better. Maybe we can try and protect, that innovation, that modification. But it is I can't stress it enough that it is very, very important to get an IP attorney involved early in the process when you're coming up with new designs, new products, and new processes too. You have a, a manufacturing line and you come up with a new way to make this product that makes it more efficient to create it. You make it on a quicker time scale, or maybe it's cheaper to create than your competitors. You can also get patents on those processes to potentially protect your better way of making something.
Gotcha. That's important. I'm sure a lot of people do not know that. So thank you for clarifying that. Um, okay, so you're a registered patent attorney, and we've gone over that. What does the intellectual property attorney portion mean exactly?
So not only do I help with patents, that's the primary focus of my practice, but I
Okay.
also help with other intellectual property as well. So you have trademarks in your branding, your slogans, your product names, the ways you just sell your business, sell your product. There's copyrights in your website design, your instruction manuals, your product brochures, even your source code on your software that you implement. All of those can be protected with copyright. And we actually do have some clients that come to us and say, "Hey, somebody spoofed our website and is trying to sell their products or knockoffs or scams or whatever through their website that they made it look like ours." That is potential copyright infringement as well as potential trademark infringement if they're including your trademarks on their website. So there's also, like I mentioned before, trade secrets, which are basically what are the secret things that you have that make your company more valuable because those things are secret,
Mhm.
whether it be formulas of your chemicals, like Coca-Cola or something like that, but also your business strategies, your client lists, things like that. So I advise on kind of all those intellectual property matters. Also, let's say you get a patent and you want to license it out to another company to make and sell the product, and they pay you for selling it, for them making it and selling it, and for you having the patent. So I can help negotiate the license agreement where they would pay you, or even a sale of the company, or sale of a product line or anything like that. I can help with those agreements as well when it comes to intellectual property.
Awesome. That's great. Um, I'm sure listeners will need your service. A bunch of our members could definitely utilize this. So, what is the best way they can get in contact with you?
My number and my contact information is all in the GMA directory, so that should be easy to find. But also my email address is rdunlap, that's RDUNLAP at buchalter.com, which is BUCHALTER.com. My phone number is 770-377-3855. Uh, I can be reached either way, and I'm always happy to have a conversation, just an initial introductory conversation to just see what ways I can help you, and whether it's for IP or any other legal issue you have. I love finding the right attorney for for people to help them with the problems that they're facing and to help them avoid problems. Also, getting us involved
Definitely.
early in the process can often help avoid much more expensive problems down the line. And whether it's an attorney at my firm or anywhere else, I have a pretty big network of attorneys. I like to, make connections for people, even if it's not an attorney at my firm.
Perfect. That is a huge help and a huge asset. So, I think that wraps up our interview, and I really appreciate you being here. You've done a lot for GMA. You've come to tons of events. Networking is always great. So I really appreciate it, and
Yeah,
I'm
thank
excited
you.
to add this to our member spotlight.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. I love the GMA. I've been involved for what, 7 years now, and it's just been it's been a uh huge privilege of mine to be involved and to work with Jason and to work with you to just see these amazing manufacturers that are members and to see what they're doing and to keep up with the trends. It's really helped my practice too.
Awesome. That's exactly what we're here for. We want our suppliers and our manufacturers to benefit off of each other. And this member spotlight it's so exciting because I want to showcase how many great people we have on our team and how you can be of service to each
Yeah.
other. So um, we'll end there. Thank you again.
Yeah, thank you, Kinsey. It was great talking.